as follows. Bronx Community Board 7 has the right to remove a board member or member of the public from a meeting for engaging in inappropriate conduct, including but not limited to obscene, threatening, or harassing language, slander, threats of violence, personal attacks, time, or offense based on race, age, religion, gender, sexual orientation, and or disability. Members of the public who engage in any other behavior that would impedes the orderly administration of the meeting while at a board meeting shall be removed from the board meeting at the discretion of the chair or chair designee. Everyone besides the speaker presenter will remain silent through the meeting. After each presentation is over, the chair will require if committee members have questions. Committee members will signify that they have a question by raising their hand when the chair opens the floor. Only those recognized by the chair of the committee will be allowed to speak during the allotted time. You can stay on topic of the agenda and items and any other items will be acknowledged by the chair in new business or addressed at the next meeting, provided there is time and the committee agrees on the topic. Following questions, discussions, and public comment, the committee will begin their discussion after each presentation, agenda item, and will, if applicable, conclude with the decision to vote on a recommendation. When the agenda is finished, the meeting will be adjourned. Okay, so we will move on to our agendas. The hierarchy is present: Sandra Erickson, Edgar Ramos, Barbara Strasser, Kimali Cordy, Mamadou Sawane, Jesus Lopez Jensen.
Present.
Okay, with those present, we do have a quorum. Thank you. We're going to move on to the review of previous month's minutes, which is the third page, the third page. Remember to keep them to the floor, and then provide and then to be made if any. To accept the leadership last week's minutes. So I have prepared. Thank you, Mamadou. Thank you. Okay. The hierarchy reports, yeah. Sandra Erickson. Yes. Edgar Ramos. Barbara Strasser. Yes. Mamadou Sawane.
Yes.
Jesus Lopez Jensen.
Yes.
Motion passes. We on to the next agenda item. Okay, follow from previous month. We could not meet, it was, well, we did meet, but it is also the holiday events. Okay, we're gonna move on to new business, and we ask the EDC to provide us with an update on the Kingsbridge Armory.
Yeah, is it okay if I stand over? Yeah, okay, hi, thank you all, thank you to the committee for having us this evening. If you haven't met before, I'm Yana Poporelski, I'm the Vice President on EDC's Government and Community Relations team. And I'm joined by my colleagues, Catherine Zanell, who works on our land use team, and Danielle, whose last name I'm going to mess up. Secular on our real estate development team. And we are really excited to be joined here tonight with the selected developer for the Kingsbridge Army redevelopment project. So first, just wanted to give a big, express so much gratitude to the community board. I know CD7 has been with us every step of the way in this last round of visioning for the Kingsbridge Armory. And I truly believe that the Together for Kingsbridge community visioning process is really what led us to have such strong proposals for the redevelopment of the Armory, and has brought us to select the team that will present to you today their vision that really responds to those core community priorities that we identified together. So I'm going to introduce Bill Bollinger from Mad Equities and the 8th Richmond Partners.
Thank you. Good evening, all. Thank you very much for having us, and we are extremely excited to be selected to develop this magnificent building. It's going to be a tremendous undertaking, and we're going to need to do it with all of your support, all the community support, and all elected leader support. I'm just here to represent the principals who can't be here. We wanted to make sure we came at your request right away. They're actually away working on business right now, on the project. So Lauren's going to jump in and give a little background on who Matt is and the project, and we'll just kind of leave it to that. Lauren George from Constantine.
Hi, everybody. So I have a presentation which you can't see, unfortunately, but I think if I stand kind of like this, is that okay? So I can see everyone, even though the light is shining in my eye. Did you grab your copy at the front of the deck? Because it's weirdly on the sidewall. You can't see it. So if you don't mind, I'm gonna go like this. Okay. So just while you're all getting that, my name is Lauren George and I'm with Constantinople and Bloom Consulting. We represent MAD Equity. And I've worked with the principals at MAD Equities for over 7 years now, and with Bill as a team member. As he said, they're doing at a conference right now related to this project. So unfortunately, they couldn't join us. And if I go next slide, it's not working. So how's that? How do you advance the slides? Just use the arrow button. It didn't work. Sorry. The space bar. Okay, excuse me. So, MAD Equities is a certified MBE with the city, and they've been developing in the Bronx and across New York City for over 20 years now. They've done about 5 million square feet of development, of different types. Primarily, MAD is an affordable housing developer. They've done about 2 million square feet of commercial space in the city. And this project is going to be a very exciting and big undertaking in the commercial sphere. But one thing that I think very unique and special about MAD proposal is that it includes affordable housing for the Armory. So, one of the reasons that I think they were chosen is not only their commitment to the Bronx, but their demonstrated financial capacity and their multi-level investment experience. So ground up construction, investment management, and property stewardship. So MAD has always focused on ensuring that their built environments are sustainable and environmentally friendly. And that's what they're going to for sure do with the Armory, with energy efficiency and lots of other measures. And one thing that's of note is that the team, including the land use attorney, my firm, MAD, and their full development team has done over 13 rezonings in New York City. So they have a lot of experience working on that and, zoning and land use work. This is going to be probably definitely the biggest project that MAD has ever done, but they do have the capacity to pull it off. So we're excited about that. And the commitment to the Bronx is really shown in the longstanding expertise and work that MAD has done in the Bronx. They've developed over 4,000 units of affordable housing here in the borough. There's about 10,000 units overall in the city, but 4,000 of those are here in the Bronx. And that demonstrates about $1 billion of economic investment and, job creation and construction jobs and quality homes for folks in the Bronx. That's a $1 billion investment for the borough. So as I said, they're committed to creating local jobs and have worked with organizations throughout the borough to help recruit folks to, work on the buildings and also in the permanent jobs that they create in their buildings. And MWBE contracting and union labor participation in the form of Local 79 has always been part of their work. So one other thing that they do is not just create affordable housing, but create communities, right? So daycares, healthcare centers, retail that serves the neighborhood has always been part of their program. And there are never vacant spaces in MAD buildings, and they're very proud of that. Sometimes developers will just keep the ground floor empty for a long time, and they definitely don't do that. They rent and create vibrant streetscapes that really help to strengthen neighborhoods, the Bronx. And of course, strengthening local communities, respect for local cultures is a big part of the ethos of MAD as well. So some examples, I know these are pictures you can't really see, but they're in the deck of affordable housing recently that the company has worked on, 1164 to 1184 River Avenue. They built about 750 units of affordable housing in that corridor that was enabled by the Jerome rezoning. I know your board dealt with that a couple of years ago, enabled that rezoning. Also on Jerome at 1949 Jerome Avenue, they're working on a new project that's over 320 units of affordable housing with a fresh supermarket in the ground floor. So that's also going to be in partnership with city planning and EDC for the Fresh program. And then they're hopefully soon just about completing a large project in Inwood on 207th and 9th Avenue in Inwood. And that's about 614 units, which also includes a very large food bazaar, grocery store, supermarket on the ground floor, in addition to a cultural center in partnership with CUNY, and also a new park in partnership with EDC that's going to provide new waterfront access to the community there in the North Cove of Inwood. So in the commercial development arena side of things, in your district, we also came to you very recently this spring for the 2530 Grand Concourse clock tower building, which is also a landmark. So we took that building or that proposal through landmarks approval for the banking tower, the banking hall, which is an interior landmark, and that was about 2 years ago. That fine fair is now open for business. I hope you've all been and shopped there because it's really nice. It's a beautiful grocery store. It used to be a very grand banking hall, and now it's a grocery store. And now they're taking the tower under construction for the tower, which is hopefully going to be dorms for nearby college. And the clock tower is finished. It's looking great. It had been looking terrible for many, many years. The building was empty, and they put a lot of investment into it. They use the new markets tax credit program, in addition to the historic tax credits program, to help revitalize that building. And now that corridor and the Fordham bid is looking much better, and it's helped to enliven that area a lot.
And large on projects, folks may know to drive around neighborhoods. We've done St. Anne's Terrace. Been a while since that. That's right on St. Anne's Avenue in 161st Street, right south of Ward 3 and in the northern part of Ward 1. That was like 600 units and about 150,000 square feet of commercial space. And I will just say the project up in Inwood was large citywide rezoning from the Inwood perspective. So there was a lot of sausage to be made as part of some of the requirements there. And we worked with, still working with the agencies on getting that over the finish line as far as some of the requirements. So we're pretty adept at kind of navigating the agency processes.
That was definitely a complicated one that had DOT, MTA, EDC, HPD, all the agencies. There are a lot of experiences with the different city agencies that I think taught the development team quite a bit through that process. But just quickly to finish up the commercial side, so Bridge Market was actually another thing in partnership with EDC. That's an EDC lease under the Queensboro Bridge on 59th Street. There's a Trader Joe's there. We took that through landmark approval as well, and it's a very unique it's a landmark interior exterior space, very beautiful Trader Joe's. You should check that out too. And then another example is a Memorial Sloan Kettering building that's for office and medical research at 61st in Manhattan. So the vision for the Armory that Matt approached this RFP with is, above all, opening up the Armory, right? Making it accessible to the community and learning from the vision plan that, many of you participated in, I'm sure, and the community spent many, many months and years working on. Third time's the charm. And, commitment to trying to open up this amazing, beautiful historic asset to the people of the Bronx. But I think additionally, the primary ethos here is creating jobs, right? So there's lots of different uses being proposed by this program, but all of them are going to be bringing jobs and an engine of economic opportunity to the community. Historic preservation, of course, and the stewardship of this amazing public asset is a big part of why Matt is interested in this, because of their experience with working with landmarks and just the beauty of this building. We want to see it preserved and get in there and fix it up and make it nice again for people to access. So I want to make sure that everyone is aware and fully, that Matt is excited about the TLA that's going to be a project labor agreement for this. So there will be union jobs in the construction of this armory, not only with the unions that we've always worked with, but with the full slate of labor here. So there's definitely a PLA that will be used to build the projects. And then, building off of all the work that key stakeholders like your board, nonprofits in the area, local participation in the planning and development of this will be a key part of the way that they approach the armory. So, and another thing that's really important that we've talked about a little bit is investing in neighborhoods, not displacing businesses or people from neighborhoods. A lot of the places that Matt has done housing development in were manufacturing areas. And has always brought in businesses that complement the local business landscape environment. So it's really important that this team is thinking carefully about ways to invest and not displace local businesses from the area. And then again, as I said at the beginning, mixed use affordable housing is a key part of their proposal because that's what I've done much of in the past, affordable housing. You're just in time for the program, although what happened, it went off. Not that anyone can see it anyway, kind of. So the program being proposed in this project of Central Kingsbridge, 450 units of affordable housing. And that will be on the National Guard buildings that are not in the Armory, but just to the side of it, right? A 13,000 person arena, not seats actually, it's not going to be seated. It's like a big live event space, a concert kind of venue, performing arts space that will be multi-purpose. And also those same spaces will serve the sports and youth and sports activities. So like during the day, there'll be like a sporting league, a soccer, baseball. In the night, it will be a show. That's just for example. So that it's going to be multi-purpose space. And then commercial spaces for economic development and jobs. And that's a lot of space. We can go through some of the details, but just as an overview. A 25,000 square foot community center to be hopefully run by a community-based nonprofit organization. Educational facilities in the Armory that will focus on workforce development, job training, retooling people for changing careers, and hopefully tech manufacturing. A cultural space with a focus on the Bronx. So there was talk of a salsa museum. We don't have a LOI with the salsa museum, but we're in talks with the salsa museum to try to bring them to the space. A very large amount of new open space, right? This has been fenced off for many years. And the proposal, of course, will open it up, but it will also create new public open space to almost like a park, benches, spaces to hang out right around the Armory. And then tech sector manufacturing space, as I mentioned, is going to be a big part of one of the anchor tenants coming to the Armory. And then youth sports and activities in sports, like I said. So the design approach that the team, so you'll notice tonight, this is not a design, presentation. We're just giving you a very brief overview of what the proposal is, and we'll come back to you with the land use attorney, the architect team to show you beautiful pictures once the design is further developed, right? So this is just an overview, but the way that the design team is approaching the space is opening it up, creating access and having multi-uses in one place, right? So having flexible space that will really complement each other. So if you have a variety of different uses, hopefully they'll be in synergy with each other and celebrate the openness of the space, because it's huge. I'm sure many of you have been inside of there through the visioning process. It's a giant cavernous space. There will be levels built inside, but it will still have that open volume feeling. So like I said, laying out with adaptability and separation of uses, right? And again, healthy environments and sustainability is really key to the team. And so they'll be working on like a net zero energy goal. It's a goal. We'll get there with the help of the state. This is down the road, this project, but hopefully there'll be more renewable energy in the pipeline to begin with in the grid. And this building will use a very large percent, up to 35% of energy draw will be renewable energy. Sit down. See, have seats. Thank you so much. It's all good. And then to be EV parking, there will be some parking contemplated because of the event venue and other uses. There's up to like 500-ish, 550 parking spaces being contemplated in the environmental review. And 20% of those are slated to be in electric vehicle charging places. There will also be a significant amount of bike parking to hopefully encourage the multimodal traveler. Okay, so timeline. Again, this is a very early stage of this, but this is a very accelerated process. So there is a scoping for the EIS happening on February 11th. You just got the notice. It just went out last Friday. It's like a 30-day notice was issued. So there will be a scoping meeting. If you have any more details about that, we have Catherine here who can answer some questions about that, the technical side of that. But that's on February 11th. And then the goal here is to certify this into ULURP in May, which is very soon. So we're gonna be meeting with you guys, I'm sure, several times between now and then and throughout the process, you know, not only you, but a lot of the other stakeholders involved. So we're going to begin landmarks review, which is another key piece of this. Obviously, landmarks has to have their say and give a binding report, which is like certificate of appropriateness, that the inside of the building is appropriate and also the new building adjacent to it is. So ULURP certification target is May, and then SHPO, which is the state historic, state parks department that deals with historic property at the state level, has to do their review. We're going to begin that this fall and hopefully finish that in January of next year. And then the actual construction, hopefully, will begin a couple of years after that to be targeted to finish. And I think 2032 is the final year. God willing, everything works out with the financing, with the tenants and all that. That's our year to actually be open to everybody to celebrate. And here's the picture, which is a rendering. It's like, you know, it's printed for you. That's just one view. We'll have more views, of course, and interior views to show you as they get developed. But this has been a very kind of fast timeline for us. So we'll definitely come back to you when we have more of that stuff. So please, I have everybody here to answer questions. If you guys have questions, and we're eager to start.
We're gonna start with
Can I just say a couple things about
Please.
the job? Obviously, the jobs are very important, but if they don't go to local residents, that's really not the goal. So workforce development and kind of linkages with local groups that can help with that, that will be key. And I know something very important to me. I cut my teeth a long time ago working like commercial revitalization for the city and a lot of streets, starting from Bruckner Boulevard all the way up through 3rd Avenue to 167th Street to Mount Eden Avenue to 170th Street. So working with merchants and kind of organizing and getting their feedback, what's important to them is really key. And so that's what we want to do. And we need everyone's help for that. We'll get into discussion later. I'll just say, I'll leave a pack of business cards there for folks who want to contact me. We'll be here for a while, but later, just I don't want to forget, and anybody that wants to reach out. We've had a lot of people already reach out, as you can imagine, so we're starting those conversations. But the more that we can have kind of discussions, the better we go through the process. So my apologies for interrupting you.
So we'll start off with the members. Any questions? I mean, we've been a part of this for a very, very long time. I went to school across the street from, I went to PSA6, I'm a graduate from there. So the Armory's been a part of my whole entire life. Been in our community, you know, for a lot of us as well. And we're excited and we want this to happen. It's been a long time coming. So we appreciate you coming to us. We appreciate the community input because that's important to us. We definitely want to see it, you know, become the space that we envision it to be. We've been waiting a long time, so thank you. I'm gonna put it to the floor. Any members of the public? Questions? What, sorry, Barbara, go ahead.
I noticed in your list of associates or whatever you should be working with, I did not see the port and bid. Now, that's major shopping area, very close to what we constructed. Has anyone reached out? Will you be working with them?
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
I'm just surprised they were not listed since it's a major shopping area in the Bronx.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we definitely will be talking to the bid. We will be talking to every stakeholder that you can suggest to us that we didn't actually put a list of outreach, I don't think, on there.
Sure.
So, but yes, we for sure will be talking to the board.
Thank you.
And I just want to add to what 27 years, Barbara, you're but you know, when we approved the last we've been had our hopes up and then disappointed, and then you know, just so much, and every time we talk, they mention it to us, it's like, you know, it's not there. So we're very excited. The EPC's been great, giving us today, not getting us information, but it's been really great. Thank you very much.
I just want to say that I'm excited. I was like a community planner before I had this role. And it's a great example, I think, of EDC really doing an awesome kind of grassroots community process. I mean, the other 2 times failed, unfortunately, for like lots of different reasons. One, because it wasn't in alignment with the community. One, because the financing didn't go through or whatever happened. But I think that's really important to note, right? That holding as the North Star, the community's vision, but also being realistic and understanding that there has to be financial feasibility or this will not happen and it'll just be another failure. We don't want that to happen, right? So we want to have everybody sort of help give that space to understand that it comes to the tenants, like who's gonna pay rent to be here. There's a lot of amazing subsidy involved and that's gonna be needed, but there's also gonna need to be like financial feasibility of whatever use happens, and that's why we're cautiously excited and optimistic, and I think the MAD team is very creative and has a lot of amazing connections and ideas with commercial users, and that's how we're gonna approach this, so.
That's great, thank you. We have a member.
Yeah, you mentioned here that you could look at job opportunities. So would this be focus on the people working, living in the area or folks outside?
For sure, focus on the area. So I think one thing I would say is not only will there be an educational component, like end user, right? An institution that will serve local community members, but also we'll be working with nonprofits and organizations like people that you know, that you can suggest to us that have job recruitment and retention programming to work with them and partner with them when it comes to hiring, not only for the construction, but also for the ultimate jobs that come from the permanent job. And I think it's estimated to be around 750 permanent jobs. I know there's different numbers out there because they're estimate, but based on the types of uses that we've projected and that we're going to be studying for the environmental review with the arena, with the sports field, with the manufacturing, it's over 700 jobs are going to be created here, and for sure we'll be working with local community members, and there will be a requirement to do that, but there's also the goal of doing that.
And I just wanted to say that this is just the beginning of a whole process. So there will be a lot of opportunity for everyone to voice their opinion. Just today we posted on Instagram a QR code that has information to all the documents reviewed during the environmental review public hearing. So if you have it, take a moment to go through the documents, that way you can have and give input during that session. We will be hosting a public hearing at some point as well. So there will be a lot of opportunities for everyone to revise the lengthy documents. As you can see on the board members table, they have a binder. If you need hard copies of any of the documents, you can feel free to stop by the office. We're open Monday through Friday from 9 to 5. I know some people like to hold actual papers and then some others don't, but the office is there at your service.
Thank you, Carla. Anthony, you had your hand up.
I did. I love it. I actually would like to add two questions, if I might. Second one, please, okay. In regards to, and I'm glad you started off the conversation by saying this is very early in the project. So this is sort of an early bird type of question. I understand, according to recent reports, that you've had a prior relationship, but might be a current relationship with a construction company by the name of Joy Construction. I understand that they've had many violations while working on projects, which is why these reports have come up. Are they still scheduled to work on this project?
No, so there is one of the partners of the 8th Regiment Partnership, LLC, which is the development team, is Eli White, who is the principal at Joy Construction. But Joy Construction is not going to be building this building. So that's like really important that we get that clear. They're not involved as a company, that individual is involved as an investor. So that's not the GC. The GC or general contractor has not been chosen yet.
Okay.
And that will be decided based on somebody that has large scale capacity, works with unions and does this type of very massive project. So that's not been determined yet.
That's interesting. So if you don't mind me asking a general question, some of the properties that you mentioned a few moments ago down in the southern part of the Bronx, there's also been reports that right in the area that you mentioned, there've been a lot of extreme drug activity and all types of non-good activity. I'm just curious, how do you deal with that in you plotting your success?
just within the neighborhoods
Yeah.
themselves. I mean, obviously, you try to work to the degree you can with the local police precinct. To alert them to what's going on, putting up more cameras, and now cameras are a lot easier to put up these days, so put a lot more cameras up. And let folks know that the cameras are up so they can see them go up, to discourage, people from hanging around or being where they really shouldn't be. You can only do, as an entity, you can only do that yourself, right around your property, but you can work with that. And so those are kind of the primary tools. It literally, you interact with the community boards, you find out what they're hearing, where the issues are, and you try to come up with some strategies, for.
Has it delayed any time or increased your cost in the process?
Are you talking about during construction or just once the building's built?
How from beginning to end?
Yeah, I mean, if you have to have extra security on the site to watch and make sure, things aren't happening on the property, that will add costs to a development. Correct.
So last question, if I might. So I understand that PS 86 currently in the back of PS 86, there seems to be an extreme drug problem over there. Are you considering any security measures over there?
You're bringing this to my attention, the drug issues now, so we will look at that. We can talk, is the school itself, how?
The armory, the PS 86 side, if you go over there, there's it's public, extreme afternoon drug problem.
We will, direct our, with Carla, and Carla can give you.
Sure, that'd be great. I mean, coordinating with the local precinct is great.
We do get a lot of, as you guys may know, we get a lot of complaints, we get a lot of the issues that go on, especially around that area, because it is built up, it is, fenced up, so I walk by all the time on the weekend. So there's different things going on that shouldn't be happening there, so we do get all those things.
Especially near school.
Literally across the street, little school. Okay, well, with that being said, thank you, we look forward to the public hearing next month. I would love to have your part.
Yeah, I'm gonna set a stack.
We look forward to, hearing back as to, we're very excited, but I can't tell you how excited I am that in my lifetime, I'm going to see the Kingsbridge Armory. I saw it in action with the National Guard. I want to see it now from my community, from my nieces, from my nephew. I want to see it for them. So we really, really look forward to being a part of this process with you guys. Thank you.
Right, so that is one more note, that was but I just wanted to flag that at the beginning of the meeting, you had said your next committee meeting is going to be on February 11th.
Sure.
That's also when the scoping
Yes.
day is taking place. It's going to be virtual, and we're planning to start at 4 and make a presentation then. And then make the same presentation this time at 6. So people have the option to either log on at 4 or log on at 6 and get information, and we'll keep, the meeting open for comments throughout that time.
And that'll be like more details about the exact square footage that's being proposed for each use, and like how many cars and how many units. I mean, we did that a little bit, but it'll be a little more detailed. About what's going to be, so the whole purpose is about what's going to be studied in environmental review.
Great, thank you. We look forward to that, because we just have a lot of our members who do want to log in and residents that are logging virtually. So that's great. Thank you. I appreciate that. We look forward to doing all of that and all of the updates. Like I said, we're very excited for this project, and we can't wait to see it move forward. So thank you. Okay, moving on with our agenda, we have another presentation by Synergia Inc.
Wait, before you go, can you just take that on, act like you're in the meeting, we have to take a picture from back here. Sure.
Yeah, my card is there, so.
Should it be candid?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're talking about it.
It's nice.
Look at this thing.
You don't have to look at her and look at what you need.
Right, thank you.
Yeah, so.
What you watch?
Let's try to make fusion. Y'all will go forward. Right.
Thank you.
You guys.
Thank you, so very much. So, I think that you feel surveillance of the team here.
Thanks for that. Sounds like just making sense. Look at that in there. Okay, yeah. Excuse me.
Yeah, and then it's quite. Creating challenge. Yes, sir. Yeah, that's.
Maybe just. This is room, if a recess breathing, that's transformed.
Well, Susie, you're not sure.
Can you take them?
Fine, so we're ready for you guys.
Okay.
That was a lot. I'm here, so we're super excited for that. So I hope you guys are excited to actually be in board.
Yes, yes, it was very much exciting. Very much exciting. Good evening, everyone. Good evening. Thank you very much, Committee Board 7 and the community for having us here tonight. Super excited. The welcoming and the presentation that they just had just really warmed us up because we're super excited what's happening here in this community. And we want to be part of what you guys are doing to continue to grow. I'm part of that success of what's happening here. So my name is Lenny Moyes, and I am the Human Resources Director here at Senahia. And accompanying me here tonight is my colleagues, my Executive Director, which she'll introduce herself in a minute. And then we have our Deputy Director and our Chief Financial Officer. So we'll have our Executive Director.
Okay, yes, my name is Lori Barcelona. I will be talking to you and to the community about the opportunity that we're looking to take advantage in the community. Synergia is a nonprofit organization. We are mainly located. Space. We are mainly located. Our office is located in Harlem, 126th Street and Lexington. Place, right? That's where we are located. Just to say that we are in the community. We work where we live, where we work. So Synergia, as I said, was founded. A nonprofit was founded back in 1977. It was created as an idea. How do you help people or children with disabilities that don't have family members or people that are there ready to help them? A couple, which was a husband and a wife, decided to start to opening their home to those children that were left out in the hospital. Little by little, it went growing, Synergia grew, and now we have residents throughout the community. We don't have group homes that are big, like for 4, 10, 15, 20 people. We, the individuals that we support live in apartments. Why? Because we want everyone to be inclusive, to be part of the community, to be like you and I, living in an apartment. This proposal that I have here, and you can go on. As I said, I forgot to say this. We have an organization, which is OPWDD. This is the organization that kind of supervises the funders. And with them, we are able to be a volunteer agency that provides services to the community.
We provide a different array. They provide a different array of services and housing, clinical therapeutic support, and employment services, cultivating them more into the community, involving them more in a meaningful and independent life.
So there is a video that I don't know how that's going to work, but basically summarizing what we said, which is all the housing programs and the type of programs that Synergia offers. Mainly what we're looking for is to rent an apartment, or buying a home. We don't have this big project like the ones who were before us, definitely not. What we're looking to do is rent an apartment in nearby here. It's actually, I think it's 227 East 204th Street, a second floor apartment. We are planning to put an IRA, which is called individualized residence for 3 individuals who have developmental disabilities. And they are women within the age of 30 and 65. In this a residence, which will be staffed 24 hours. Why? Because the individuals need assistance. They need someone to help them with basic skills, dressing, bathing. Some of the individuals have activities that they go to during the day. Some others need assistance to be taken to medical appointments, daily living skills, activities. And for that reason, we will have a staff all the time in the home to provide that support. There is a law that supports this petition that we're making to the board. We don't quite have 4 people or plus, it's only 3. But Synergia believes in building community integration with the board. So you are aware that this is something that we are looking to do. So in essence, we didn't really need to come to the community board and do the presentation, but we believe that this is a good practice, and we do it in any other place that we open a residence. What else we have there? Okay, so the 3 people that we're looking to bring in are currently residing in the Bronx. They are a Bronxite already. They've been residing in their home for over 8 years. However, for some reason, the home keep changing owners, and it was deteriorating. The home really is not in good condition for us to continue residing there. So we decided to not renew the lease and look for another opportunity. Here you have one of the people. Her name is Erica, a cheerful person. And with her permission, I'm sharing the picture, and I made sure to bring the best one because she's very particular. She doesn't want you to see her in her best. She said with the coat is better. Okay, so this is Erica, and she will be one of the people who will be residing in the home should this process continues. We also have Alicia. Alicia Tirado is a proud Puerto Rican woman. She loves looking good. And also with her permission, I share this picture. She loves to go out. She loves to dance salsa. She wants you to dance salsa also, even if you are not very good at it. And residing with her roommates is something that she had done for a very long time. Alicia and Erica have resided together for a very long time. Yes. And then we have one more person.
Excuse me.
So sorry. Let's see. Yes, so yes. Who we have there is Shanae. Shanae is young, yeah, a little bit not matching with her roommates, right? Because her desires are of a 32-year-old, right? So, but she has resided with her roommates for the past 2 years. And they do get along. She thinks she's the more active one, and she probably is. I think what we're going to be looking, one of the challenges that we will have when we get this apartment is who gets the big room. So, but those are some things that we hope with communication and just talking about ladies, we are able to accomplish that. So in summary, we are please requesting that you approve our proposal, that this will bring diversity, this will bring inclusion, and also social justice for the people with disabilities. The fact that many years ago, the moment that you were diagnosed with a developmental disability or anything, you were put in a group home or in a school, in an institution. Those are eras that had ended, and we in Synergia are supporting the end of that era. We want people to be in their community, to be part of their community, to look like the people that they live, or who they live with. So this is it. I have questions. And if I don't answer something very well, please, my colleagues can do it. English is my third language, so I struggle with it. So,
Start with the board member.
yeah.
I see it's a 3-story, 3-unit building.
Mhm.
So it's a 3-bedroom apartment.
Yes, yes. We're working with the landlord right now. The second floor is going to be a 3-bedroom apartment. The third floor, he says, is a 4-bedroom, but there's tenants in that. So we will be occupying the second floor.
So each person will have a bedroom, and then where the person that's there 24 hours, they're like on different shifts, so they're
Yes.
always awake. Like
Always
someone
awake.
and
Yes.
on different
The
shifts.
expectation is of people to be awake, right? Surprises.
Yes.
Let me get the stuff, but yeah, the intention is that the person will be awake.
Are they able to go out safely alone?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, they are able to go safely alone, two more than, and those that need it. For example, Alicia has some mobility issues, right? That are knee surgery, so she sometimes needs someone to be with her.
My question is, which I, talking about Sandra, so how many, staffers, what the type of rotation will they have?
So 24 hours, one staff,
One staff, or one staff member for 24 hours?
one
Another-
staff. Per shift.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay.
And then
If you give us the cross streets of the address.
it's actually right next to, the community board. And so much that for some reason, I even wrote the address of the community board, right? So it's just right across, yeah.
My second question is, do you have any similar facilities like the one you're going to set up in the Bronx?
Yes, yes. So right now we have so many, actually. Little by little, we have moved from Manhattan. We used to have more homes in Manhattan, but because of the rent, we little by little moving north. So right now we have 2 houses located in Collier, 3016 and 3018 Collier Avenue. That's in Cambridge, Riverdale section of the Bronx. We also have 2 apartments in 221 East 221 Street. We also have another house located in Cross Bronx, 2126 Cross Bronx.
Yeah, I have a question.
Yes.
You mentioned that because of the change in landlord or stuff like that, that's why you want to choose this. How likely is it that this, with the housing situation, this landlord will not change?
Yeah. I wish I can tell you, predict the future. We will do a lease. We will have a lease for at least 2 years to start. I think what happened with the previous landlord, the person who we originally did the lease with sold the house, and that other person sold the house. So it became not a priority for them to safekeep the home. There were holes and things all over the place. And remember, that home, we weren't the only one living there. It was a 3-floor home. So it was just not in a good condition for the people. And they weren't making the repairs.
And then my second question is, how likely is this to expand? Now that you have these 3 people, if you have more, would you negotiate, like maybe using the other floor, maybe go somewhere?
Yes, and if we do that, we will come and let that inform you of that. As of right now, we're not looking to do that. We are relocating these three individuals. We have another project right now in Manhattan. We are opening in a 2-bedroom apartment for supporting. When it's supported services, you don't really need to have a staff 24 hours, and you don't really need to go in front of a community board. So those are the two projects that we have right now. If we get to spend later on, I don't think that apartment will be available, but if it was to happen, we will let you know.
Yes.
Thank you.
Any other questions from the members? Any questions from the member of the public? Angie?
Yeah, it's a short one. So how do you find your clients in the first place? Like those three clients
Mm-hmm.
that you profile, how did you find them or how did they find you?
Okay, so the story has been, and I like the gentleman who was here used the word synergy. And this is the meaning of our organization, which is emerging a get together from the families and the services that we provide. OPWDD, we become a provider, and there is a process that they follow. There's an intake process. Sometimes children come with their parents looking for services, or a person is referred by a care coordinator saying X person needs these services, and can you match the services that they need, and they come to us.
That being said, so it's a letter of support. So we're looking for a motion. Do I have someone to make a motion for a letter of support?
Okay, I move that we send a letter of support for Synergy.
Para sinceridad, sinceridad, anything.
An anticipated supervised individual residential facility at 227 East 24th Street.
Okay, do I have a second?
Second.
The seconds. Take the vote. Jahira Rivas votes yes. Sandra Erickson,
Yes.
Edgar Ramos,
Vote yes.
Barbara Stronson,
Yes.
Kimali Corley,
Yes.
Mamadou Sawane,
Yes.
Jesus Lopez Johnson.
Yes.
Thank you. Your motion passes. You will receive a letter of support from Community Board 7 in reference to.
Thank you very much. Thank you. We appreciate it.
The general working.
Yeah.
General and finance.
Yeah.
Question before you.
Yes.
So in this area, you found a apartment. Is there services in that area to support these three residents that's moving like listed? Because that might
Yes.
be something.
So we are actually doing a mapping of services. Some of them actually utilize a clinic nearby here. And it will be easy because they're not coming from far. So they will be able, and I like the fact that it's a laundromat, there's a beauty salon, there's a supermarket across. They can utilize I came actually last Thursday to kind of canvass the neighborhood and to see what's around. There's a park. It's a lot that will make their life more meaningful. Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
But also,
Okay.
They're coming into our neighborhood and we're very fond of it. And I hope they like it just as much as we do.
Oh, thank you so much.
thank you.
That, we'll move up to the agenda, so the next announcement is, the set for. There is a public hearing on the Kingston Armory environmental review that is in the under.
Thank you so much. Thank you for saying.
Yeah.
Okay, so. Let me get them again, and you have 2 more agencies. Patients and Always have you guys on here, but if they get removed, you should. Yeah, so.
Good evening, folks, and allow me to come and speak for a moment. Just came up to offer a little bit of a reminder. This time of year is very important for individuals who own homes, co-ops, condos. This time of year is where you apply for various property tax exemptions. If you have a condo or a co-op, there is an abatement that you sort of reapply for, or you sort of recertify for with your management. And I know in this area, you do have a mix of homeowners, condo, and co-op owners. So what we wanted to make you aware of is the fact that there's a lot of savings that is available to individuals if they qualify. And there's steps that you can take by applying online. Local elected officials render assistance, even sometimes community boards will help the community to fill out these applications. So I brought an overall pamphlet that talks about the different exemptions that are available, starting with the STAR benefit, which you may be familiar with, actually administered by the state. There's things for seniors, individuals who have a disability, veterans, members of the clergy. And let me mention that the other thing, the co-op condo abatement program, that's as long as it's your primary residence, you don't own more than 3 in the development. And the development itself participates in the program. You can have that. These things will cut property taxes between 5% and 50%. So that's a big deal for many people. So I brought some information and a few knickknacks. If you want to find out more information or have us do any outreach in the community over the next 2 months, the schedule is very full. We're very flexible. We'll try to do what we can to work with you more.
Great, thank you. Would you be able to come to our general board meeting this month? That's when you will have our general public, and I think they'll be very, very interested in obtaining this information.
What day is that?
It's the 28th. The 28th, January 28th.
Look on the
Yeah, that's when our general public, it's our general board meeting and the general public is there. We do have a lot of homeowners, co-ops and condos and.
Where do you have it?
Where's it gonna be?
The 28th is going to be at PS 246, 193rd and Granville.
It's right on the corner.
Okay.
In front of Cole Park.
And what time of day is it? Evening?
6 o'clock.
All right, let me check the calendar while I'm here. We'll see what we can do to get that.
Because that, to give you your information, give out the template so that everybody is definitely there. Okay?
Things it's gonna be important, I think if we at least bring the pamphlets,
Yeah.
if there's pamphlets available.
We'll set you up with a something very unique.
Yeah, that's that.
This would be very good there as well. Okay, thank you. And hopefully you can come on that day, you got to share. HED?
One thing about the position that we all may have to, what you have to say about it. Our involvement in this will be not the Army, not the building itself, the main building. I think they mentioned that in the back, there are these spaces that are used by the National Guard. And the plan would be to, they have to find, that would be like a second phase. They would do the main building first, and then they would do, once the National Guard can remove someplace, then those buildings would be, those buildings, whatever they would be taken down. And they would do, they had a rendering, what it might look like, the new building, the residential building, water building. And so that would be our involvement, because we would be then financing the development of that. They would do that like they do any HPD project, in project. And again, just emphasize, know that they are very anxious to move now that we hear something is really happening. They are very anxious, the city is very anxious, but there is a lot of time in it, particularly since the residential is in second phase. It has to go through our regular process, the design review, the financing review, making sure the underwriting makes sense, all that has to happen.
What they're doing, each one, which you referenced, was, will be a Euler for the overall complex, the overall project. And so, but again, we just, of course, we're interested, anytime somebody is interested in doing more than 50 units of affordable housing, then we're interested.
So the housing will be included in this ULA.
So, I'm sorry, I don't know if you can see it from here, so right behind it, that's gonna be that's the property.
That's- From what I understand, there was a call last week, that's like a concept at this point. Again, that was sort of designed with the development team with EDC. HPD had not seen that before, so that's why I needed to go through some time, for us to review it. It's a rather narrow stretch behind there, I actually drove by this next week. So what you have there is behind the main building, between that and the street, there's a somewhat narrow piece of land, and it has these three spaces off of instructions, the National Guard. So they have to figure out what makes most sense from a design point of view, because you can't have a very wide building there with a narrow piece. So this is the point I make is really this. There's a lot of reviewing yet that's happening for the residential part.
If I remember correctly in my history, maybe that part of the armory was, I believe used during World War I.
Yes, so it's wondering if,
Two. So that's the same.
if it's gonna be a landmark, that probably wouldn't be touched.
Well, if I can zoom
The armory is the landmark, so I get
Yeah.
to look at the sites in that are certain.
So I don't think that these other nations are measuring.
It's part of the city, yes. That's the city of, yes. In place station, right. Very narrow, like, yeah, smaller space than this, so it's like. Is that accommodated family school, is that space on the top there? So this is, so you have a line. There's a lot.
Well, those extra pieces there are not part of the landmark designation. Whatever gets built there does obviously affect the landmark itself. And so they still need approval, I know they're working on it, they still need approval from landmarks and from the state historic preservation office. Anytime, even if you're not a landmark site itself, if you have a major impact on a landmark, you still need to go through their review.
I would think it would be very interesting to see the effect of the apartment building on the landmark.
Well, it sort of shows in that rendering there. Of the
I mean, especially for units or whatever, you see, so, stand out further on that, you probably have to keep it low, or have to keep it low and it's bottom of the road.
Teach that.
Honestly, from the point of view of HPD and EBC and the development team, they would want to build as much as we allow. From the landmark point of view, they would have to be satisfied with the standards.
Interesting. Yeah. So now, Charles, you have a pool across the street and. Aesthetically, the armory has been, to me, visually opposed in one thing. So now to see it have something else, it's really, it's not complete, it's not comprehended for. That's what I'm just first getting straight. Updated as to anything that comes off of this property with the art, this project.
Yeah, from our point of view, our building will be the second to.
Great, thank you. You mentioned that you're trying to, it's all for, yeah, but it was all part of it's a twofold situation here. Okay, great. Yeah, thank you. Okay, to be on the agenda to pull out, so in the next, meeting. Boarding landing south construction update and, landing south, we're gonna present, actually, we're gonna really present. So we're gonna have another lengthy day on February 11th. This is the beginning of all the things that are happening in this stretch road. So all these days are coming up. So with that being said, anything else questions, comments? Topics to add to the next agenda?
And we have a 500-page document on Fulham Landing
The presentation.
2. So if anybody's interested in coming to see it in the office, we have printed it out, we're going to put it in the binder. And you're more than welcome to come and make copies and see it for them. The same dynamic start. That's who's been so far, right? The same, Frank Diaz. Former assemblyman, right? Yeah. He's in assemblyman. Yes, he wants. I think he's also district manager. Very fast guy.
Okay, with that being said, do I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Second, all in favor?